morning, everyone, and welcome to this second session in the sixth session course of HTML and CSS. To begin this session, I'll show you my website and what elements we'll be covering today that are present in my website. Today, we'll be covering how to write headings, list items, insert images, change the color of headings, and change the background color of headings. We'll also learn how to bullet text, like here, and how to insert links into images and text, and the other elements we'll be covering throughout this course. Also, this is going to be the output of a sixth session and the website we'll be making throughout this course side by side with our learning. And we'll start making this website from the fourth session. So, as to start this session, let's start with last session's recap. First of all, as we have started learning HTML, we must code in HTML to make a website. Now, how to code in HTML? To code in HTML, you need to use tags. Tags have two signs, as you may have learned in math, the greater than sign and the smaller than sign, as shown here. Now, there are two tags for every code. The opening tag, which is this, and the closing tag. The closing tag requires an invert slash. Now, as you may write something in between those two tags, like hello. Now, if you run the code, the computer will not understand what to do with that text, the hello, as the computer is very dumb. You have to give it clear and precise instructions. So, how will the computer understand what to do with that hello? If you want to write the hello as a heading, you need to tell the computer. And so that to do that, keywords are used in the tags. If you want to make the hello a heading, you need to use the keyword h, and the keyword in the closing tags tag comes after the slash. I'll show you how. Now, in this session also, we'll be coding in VS Code, but those who want to code in Notepad, they can. The codes are the same in both. In VS Code, to open a file first, as I hope you have opened your VS Codes as well. Go to File tab on the taskbar and click on New Text File. Shortcut for that is Control N. Now, after you have opened New Text File, click on Select the Language and type HTML.
Ma'am, we can see only your Jupyter Notebook screen. We can't see what you are doing.
Yes, I have shared only a window. I'll be sharing my whole screen. Yes. As you can see here, I'll show you how to do that again. Now, click on File tab on the taskbar and click on New Text File. The shortcut for opening a new text file is Control N, as you can see here. Now, you'll get this screen. Now, click on Select the Language and type HTML. And open the new HTML file. Now, to save it, again, go to File and click on Save. The shortcut is Control S, but click on Save As first. I'll be saving it on my desktop. As you can see, the file is right here. Class 2. We have opened it here. It's blank because we have not written anything yet. Now, we also let's go on with headings. Now, if you want to write a heading, what will you do? As I said, you need to give keywords in the tags to tell the computer what to do. So first, let's write hello. Now, what will the computer understand? How will the computer understand what to do with the hello? So you'll have to write tags. Tags give meaning to the code or text in between them. So let's start with the opening tag, which is H, and closing tag. In VS Code, there's this feature called autocomplete. And the code you'll be writing, the closing tag will appear itself. But also H in headings, there are 6 different sizes. So if you write only H, computer will get confused in which size to input. So you'll also have to denote the size, such as H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and 6. And also the sizes are in descending order. H1 is the biggest and H6 is the smallest. Code is right here, and you can even see the output. I'll write the code for you to see in the file on the browser. I hope you're doing this along with me, because that will help you to learn. And don't copy your codes. Let the codes fit in your finger memory, muscle memory. Also, always check if you have written the closing tag, because if you have not, the code will not work. Now, as you can see, I've written the code for all the 6 headings right here, and I'll be saving this, and I'll be showing you the output. As you can see, heading 1 is the biggest and heading 6 is the smallest. And also headings are bold by default. Now, usually in a website, any text that is not the heading is counted in the paragraph. Now, the opening tag, the keyword for the paragraph tag is P. And this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. The content in between it is turned into a paragraph. Now let's see what the difference is between headings and paragraphs. Paragraph. Let's save this. Also, if you have any doubts, please do ask the questions in the chat. I'll be clearing them in between the class. As you can see, the paragraph is very small by default, and you cannot change its size by paragraph 1, paragraph 2, as the sizes are in the headings only. And the headings are bold, whereas the paragraph is not. Now, we have learned how to add text. What about images? Well, to add an image, you have to use the img tag. But only img would not do. For the image, you'll have to insert a link. And for that, you will be using an attribute, which will be the src attribute. Also, for every attribute, the value of the attributes should always be in double quotes, or the code will not be valid. As you can see here, the value should be in double quotes. Now, in the value of the src attribute will be the link of the image. I'm going to take an image of Google so that you can also get it of Google. I'll also be sending the link in the chat. And I'll also show you how to insert images that are in your computer. First, you're going to the image. Now, right click on it and copy its image address. Now, sometimes people get confused in between link address and image address. So to copy the image, to get the image, you have to copy the image address, not the link address. I'll be sending the image address in the chat. I hope you've gotten it. Now, in between the double quotes, insert the link. Now, just to check, you can press the control key and then click on the link to check if it's valid. As you can see, the image is opening, so it is valid. Let's save our code and check if it's there. Save. Also, you can use a shortcut Control S. Now, As you can see, we have successfully inserted this image into a file. Now, I'll now show you how to insert images that are already present in your computer. GSRC. It will be the same, just the link will be different. Now, new. Now, for example, I want to insert this image from my computer. For that, I'll have to copy its address in my computer. To do that, you have to press the Shift key and right click on it, on the file, image file. You cannot just right click on it because you will not get the option then. As you can see, there's no option, but you have to press on Shift key and right click on it, and then you will get an option called copy as path. You have to copy that as path from your computer and then paste it here. The path for your images will be different in your different computers. Now, please save this image in your computer to try this as well, or try with any other image that is present in your computer. Also, the images, if you copy them as path, you'll always already have double quotes. So you'll have to remove the double quotes present in your code. Now let's save this and see if it works, just like copying the link from Google. As you can see, it works. Now, how to add links? You must have seen many websites in which you just click on some text or image and another totally different website or web page opens up. Now, to do that, it's really simple to insert link. And you'll be able to do that yourselves. Let me show you how. This also uses a different attribute like image tag does. It's href or hypertext reference. This is the A tag or the anchor tag, which is used for links. You can insert links into both images and text. Then after href, as href is an attribute, you need to insert the value or enter value in double quotes always. Now you insert the URL or address for the website or web page you want to lead the text to. You want the text to lead to. Also, this title is unnecessary, although it's used sometimes. For text, you have to write the closing tag, which is /a, and in between the opening and the closing tag, you have to write the text in which the link has to be inserted in. I'll show you how. Now, first add the opening tag, and the closing tag will appear in itself in VS Code due to the autocomplete feature. Now, write href, and the double quotes will appear as well. Now, in between that, you have to enter the link address. Now, I'll also be sending the link address for this in chat. I've copied this. Now I'll be sending it in the chat. I hope everybody has gotten it. Also, if someone has doubts, please ask in the chat. Now, as I've copied the link, let me paste it. Yes, I've pasted this here. But as we have input the link now, what will we click or what will we hover on so that the link will open? Now, for that, you need to insert the link into either text or image. Let's first see how to insert it into text. Now, the text you'll be writing in between the opening and the closing tag right here will be by default in paragraph or in paragraph size, which will be small and not bold. Now, CAD stack, anchor. Let's save this. And let's see if it works. Reload it. And as you can see, a text called acoustic anchor has come here. Now I'll be opening it in new tab. And as you can see, the website that we have input the link for is opening. Now, how to insert the link into images? To insert the link into images, you'll have to insert an image in between the two tags. We have seen how to insert the image into documents right here. So all you have to do is just write this code in between the opening and the closing tag of the anchor tags. The A tag and /a, then the href, hypertext reference, and we'll be only opening this website. So let's copy this code. And now, whatever is in between these two opening and closing tags, the link will be inserted into that. So we'll have to insert an image here. Now we have seen how to insert an image. I'll show with both images from your computer and images from Google. Now, first images from Google. We'll copy the link here. And we'll write image tag here first. Also, not every tag requires a closing tag. Like image tag does not require a closing tag. There are many tags like image tag which do not require a closing tag. Now, in image, you add the src attribute or source. And also, as it's an attribute, always remember to put its value in a double. Now, paste the link of the image right here and see if you have closed the tag. Yes, you have. Now, I hope you're doing this alongside me. I'll be sending the link for this image I've used again. Now, as you can see, I've put this image in between the link or anchor tag. So when you click on this image, the link or www.acadstick.com will open up. Let's save this and see if it works. Reload. As you can see, the link, when you click on the image, the website opens up. I've opened the link in new tab. And it works. Now, I'll show you how to insert the link into images from your own computer. Now I've started writing the A tag. Now, as you know, we need to add the href attribute or hypertext reference. Href, and always write the values in double quotes. I'm reminding this to you again and again so that you always remember. Now, the same link of the website, I'll be sending it in chat again. I hope everybody has gotten it. I've sent it to everyone in meeting. Now, we want to insert this into an image from our own computer. I'll show you how to copy the images path. This will be the image we'll be using from our computers. You can use any image from your own computer. Now, you have to press the shift key and then right click on the image file. Now you'll get an option called copy as path. Click on it and the path will be copied. Also, if you copied one code and then you copied another and you want to copy this previous code back, you can see your copy history. by opening your clipboard right here. In Windows at least, the shortcut for opening the clipboard is Windows logo key plus V. Windows key plus V. Now, let's open the image tag and add the src attribute, source. Add the value in double quotes. This is the path of the image in my computer at least. Now, the path already has double quotes. So remove the extra double quotes you wrote. Now, just check if the tags have been closed. The closing tag is here and the image tag is being closed. Now let's see if it works. Save and then reload. These two are the previous images, and these are the images with the link in them. This one is from Google, and this one is from my own computer. Now let's see if it works. Open link in new tab. And as you can see, again, the website is opening successfully. Now I'll show you how this works in some actual websites like my own, right here at the end. And also I'll be teaching you to, we'll be doing that in the website we'll be making in this course. As you can see here, let me open LinkedIn. I've inserted the link into this image or of logo of LinkedIn of my LinkedIn account. So when you click on this image, my LinkedIn account will open up in the browser. I've right-clicked on it, open link in new tab. And as you can see, let's see if it's working. And it's working. So this is really useful. Now, after this, we'll be learning about comment tag. Now, if you've written a code and you are giving it a read to a person who does not know anything about HTML, you can add comments in between it so that they can understand what you're doing. You can give it like instructions. Now, comments are text which the computer cannot read and only humans can read in between the code. And so when you run the code, the comments will not appear in the output. It will be only something that you can read. And if you want something to appear in the output, it has to be something the computer can read and understand. Now, for this, there's only one tag, the opening tag, like the image tag. Now you open and close up the two signs, add one exclamation mark and 4 hyphens. Now in between the 4 hyphens, before 2 and after 2 hyphens, write the text you want to comment. This is a comment. Let's save this. And let's see if anything like this is a comment appears. Now, I have reloaded this and nothing called this is a comment appears because the computer cannot read this comment. If the computer can read it, only then will it show it in the output. Comments is something only humans can read in the code. Now, for example, you're writing a paragraph on something. Now, if you want to mark the important points, you want to highlight the important points, what will you do? How to highlight in HTML? Well, to highlight in HTML, you'll have to use the mark tag. Also, in last classes, we learned about this. There were some queries on how to change the color of the mark tag. Well, unfortunately, the color of the mark tag is yellow only. It's by default. And so to change the color, you cannot use mark tag. If you want any different background color, we'll have to use the background color property, which I'll be teaching soon. slash mark. Now, what do you want to mark? If you want to mark a paragraph, first you will have to write the paragraph P and slash P. Now, if your codes are long and you want to make it neat, you will have, you can also do it like this. You can write in between the tags in a different line like this. And you don't have to do it on one line only. Now, this is a marked paragraph. Now, if you want to mark only the marked, you can do it like this. Mark and slash mark. Now, this text in between the mark tags, which is marked, will be marked or highlighted in yellow. Let's save this and see. Reload. And as you can see, the paragraph has appeared and the text marked is marked or highlighted. Now, we'll be learning how to underline text. Now, to underline, the simple code is U. Now, anything you write in between these tags will be underlined. This text, and it will also be paragraph by default. This text is underlined. Now, save this. And also, please do this alongside me. Now, let's see. Reload. And as you can see, the text is underlined. I'll be zooming in to my window so that you can see clearly. This text is underlined. Now, we learn how to make text bold. Now, to make text bold, you have to use D tag. You can remember these all tags just by the starting letter of underlined. For underlining, there's U. For bold, there's B. And for italics, there's I. Now, this text is bold. Now, save this. And read. As you can see, this text is now bold. But as you can see, these both are on the same line. What if you want to, as the computer knew there was space here after the underlined text, it just wrote this text is bold text after this. But what if you want it to appear on a different line? You will have to use the BR code or break line. To make this appear in a different line or to break this line. Now, if you want to break the line before this text to make it appear in the next line, you'll have to write the BR before this text. It also, as the image tag and the comment tag requires no closing tag. This is only the opening tag, BR. Let's save it and see if it works. Reload. And as you can see, these have now appeared on different lines. Now, we'll be learning how to make text italic, how to italicize text. Also, there is another way to make text bold and italics, which we'll be learning in this class today. After this recap, now I and slash I. And just like bold and underline, the keyword is I. And italic starts with I. So you can remember it like that. Now, this text is italicized. Let's save it. Let's see if it works. Now this text has been italicized. Let's break the line before this to make it neat. Save and reload. This text is italicized. Also, someone had another query on whether you can mark, underline, bold, and italicize one single text all at once. Well, you can. Now, first of all, paragraph. You can actually make it into a paragraph, or you can just write it, because by default it is paragraph. Now, first mark tag and slash mark, then underline U tag, slash U will appear, B tag, slash B, and I tag, slash I. Now, in between this, right, this text is marked, underlined, bold, and italicized. Let's save it and see. See, it is marked, it is bold, it is underlined, and it is italics as well. So yes, you can use all these different styles at once. Break line before this. Save. Reload. And now this is appeared on a different line. Now we learn how to change the color of the font. Okay. So to change the color, as in image, we used the source attribute, and in links or anchor, we used href. We'll be using the style attribute in this. I'll be showing it in my own website now. As you can see here, my website at the top, I have changed the color of the text. The color of the text here is yellow. Here it's yellow green, and here it's black by default. Here it's blue. And here it's white. So you can, this is a really useful thing to change the color of your text in HTML itself. Now, as I was saying, you'll have to use an attribute to change the color of text as well, which will be the style attribute. As we used source attribute in images and href or hypertext attribute in links. Now, if you want to change the color of a paragraph, let's start with the paragraph. We have written the opening tag and the closing tag right here. Now, in the opening tag, we'll be adding the style attribute. STYLE equals to, and write the value in double quotes. Always check if your code is not working. Now, first we'll write the property. The property is color. We'll not write font color. We'll just write color. COLOR. And there are two spellings of color, COLOUR and COLOR. We'll test if both of them work. Now add a colon. And after this, write the color you want to change the text into. Let's choose brown. BROWN. And after writing the value of color, add a semicolon. Now let's add the text. This paragraph is brown. Also, you can write brown. Also, you can use the hexadecimal values or the hex values of the color. And you can also use RGB. Save this. Let's reload this. This paragraph is brown. Now, let's see how to change the font style. You can change the font style into italics, bold, and many more. This is the last of what we learned in last class. So after this, the summary of last class will end and we'll start with this session. Now, paragraph tags, and again, I add the style attribute equals to and write the value in double quotes. Now, for this, write font hyphen style. That will be the property, and then add a colon after the property. Now, what do you want the font style to be? Let's add something simple like italic, ITALIC, and then add a semicolon after this. Now, this paragraph is italic. Save and see. This paragraph is italic. It is complete. Now, the summary of last class has been done. So let's get started with this class. We'll continue with changing the style of font, like the color of font, the font style, and the size in this class. Now, let's continue with font size property. You use this to change the font size. We can use small, we can use large. But also, if you want it to be some specific size, you can also denote it by numbers. The default, by default unit, like centimeters and all computers and all other devices, electronic devices is usually pixels or px. This also requires the style attribute. We have written the paragraph tags. Let's add style now, STYLE. Will show font size. Now, also for this, write font hyphen SIZE, font size. Also, if anybody has any doubts, please do ask in chat. I'll be clearing them soon after. Now, let me see if you have permission to ask in chat. Yes, you're allowed to chat. You may ask in chat if you have any doubts. And after this class, at the end of the class, you'll also have a doubt clearing session. So if you have any doubts along the way, you can ask at the end of the class and I'll be clearing them. A font size, add a colon and then write small. I'll show you both small and large. Semicolon. Now, this paragraph is small. Save this. See if it's working. Now this paragraph is small. As you can see, this is smaller than this, even though both are paragraphs, because the font size of this is small. Now let's see what if the paragraph size is large. Now T tag. I will leaving a line after every code so that it's neat. Now T. Now add style attribute and add the value in W. Font hyphen style. Size. Sorry. Font size colon large. Please try this alongside with me. This paragraph is large. Save this. Now, let's see. Reload. As you can see, this is the normal paragraph. This is smaller than the normal paragraph, and this is larger than the normal paragraph size. Now, as I was talking about marked, to mark text, the by default color is yellow. But some people asked how to change the color. For this, you'll have to use background color. You cannot change the color of mark using mark tag only. It is by default yellow permanently. Not in HTML at least. We'll be learning how to change the color of mark in CSS later on. We'll start learning CSS from next session onwards. Now, P. Also for this, use style attribute. Style equals to. Now, for this, the property is background hyphen color. COLOR. No yo. And then the colon. Then what do you want the background color to be? I'll be using aqua and semicolon. Now, the background color. This paragraph is aqua. Let's save this. As you can see, it's aqua. Now, I accidentally clicked on this image. So let's also try light green as shown here. LIGHTGREEN. Light green. The background color of this paragraph is light green. Let's save this. Also, we'll be trying this with hexadecimal values also. It's light green. Now let's try this with hexadecimal value. Hex code of, let's try red. It's this. I'll send this in the chat. You can try with any color you want to. Now, P. Now, style attribute equals to double quotes, background hyphen color, and then a colon. Let's copy the hexadecimal value. As you can see, the color has appeared here. VS Code has identified what color it is. Now, semicolon. Background color of this paragraph is red. Save this. See, it's working. So that I'll get back to you on that, on how do we limit the color attribute to the letters only. Yes, because the paragraph is until the last line. This whole part is the paragraph and this is just the text. Actually, this concept is called the box model, which we'll be getting to later. Now, in box model, this whole part is in the container of paragraph. And so everything in this line is colored red if we'll be using background color. Because in mark, you're highlighting the text, you're marking the text. But in background color, you're coloring the whole container. So the paragraph is not limited to this much only. Here, it is the entire line is paragraph. Because this whole line is for paragraph tag only. We'll be getting to box model later, so I'll explain later. Now, let's get the text line. Now, for text line, you'll be able to align the text in between or from the left or from the right. As you can see here, I've used text align to position this in between. Now, let's see how to align the text in the center. And we'll be trying with other places as well, like from the right or from the left. Now, style attribute equals to double quotes, text align colon center CENTER semicolon. Now, this text is aligned in the center. Let's save this. Also, if people still have doubts on the mark question, you will the doubt will be cleared when we start with CSS, because it's about this concept called box model, which you will only understand after learning. Now, as you can see, the text has been aligned in the center magically, right? Let's see if it can be aligned in the right or the left. Left, close the paragraph tag. This text is aligned in, from the left, yes, in the left. Now, save. This is from the left now. Let's try it from the right. See, please try this alongside me to learn. It's on the right now. Let me change the text. Save, Ctrl S, reload. Now this text is aligned on the right. Also, let me show you how I've used it in my website as well. As you can see, this text is aligned in the right. For this, I have used text align property in HTML as well. So this is pretty useful. And for this, I have aligned it in the center. And I've aligned all this in the center as well. So you can use it in your websites as well. It is very beautiful. Now we have completed the properties using style attribute in HTML. Now, as I told you a little before in the recap, there is another way to make text bold or italicize. So I'll be showing that to you now. I'll be taking 1 minute to drink. Now, strong tag. You can use a strong tag as an alternative of bold tag. It's just there. So I recommend bold tag. It's smaller and more convenient. But there is still another way. Now, strong, the opening tag and the closing tag. Now, this is another way to make text bold. Save. See, it's bold using the strong tag. And there is also another way to make text in italics, to italicize text. That is through em tag, m tag. EM autocomplete. So the closing and the opening and closing tag is, have appeared. Now, this is another way to italicize text. It's break line so that it appears neat. BR. Save. Yes. So now, as you may have seen, in when people write chemical formulas on paper, they write the CO in line and the 2 below the line. Now, how to do that in computers? Now, to do that, you need to use the subscript. Now, it's not subscript, it's just sub. Now, first, let's try paragraph. If you only want to change a little part of the text and only make a little part of the text subscript, then you can use paragraph and then in between use sub. Now, let's try H2O. H2O for what? Now, sub 2 O. O. Save. Let's see if it's working. Let me remove the space. Now it'll look better. See, 2 is now below the line. This is the line and it is below the line. Now, in maths, you may have learned about exponents or power. When you multiply a number by itself multiple times, that is its power. So you write the power above the line. For example, the power of 3 is 5. So you'll write 5 above the line and 3 on the line. So to do that, we use superscript or SUP. Start. So paragraph, as 3 is in paragraph and in the line, and only 5, the power of 3, is above the line. Now 3 SUP. Now closing tab has appeared in itself. Now 5. Save this. As you can see, 5 now is appearing above the line. So this is very easy and it's very convenient to write things like chemical formulas or exponents, etc. Now, I've already taught you about the BR tag. It is used to break a line. Now, for example, in between the paragraphs, you're writing, this is a paragraph. And you're writing in the next line, I want to break a line here. Save it and see how this appears even though you're writing the second line in another line. It's appearing in the same line because it is only one paragraph element. It is not 2 different paragraph elements. And if it's one, no matter if you write the line in the next line, in the second line, it won't matter to the computer. It will still write in the same line But to write, I want to break a line here in the second line. That's primarily one of the reasons you use break line tag, BR tag. See this. Now this is appearing in two different lines. And the line has been broken right before this, where I've written the BR tag. Now, I have sometimes tried to print tags as text. I was somewhat curious how to do this. And I think you are too. Now, in paragraph, when we print text that is written in between the paragraph tags as paragraph. Now, let's try to write this here. But it's appearing red, which means that it's invalid. Because whenever you write this sign here, the computer thinks it's a tag. And when you write only one tag and don't close it, the computer will think it's invalid. But we want to print it instead. But how will the computer know we want to print it and it's not meant as a tag? Well, we cannot print this as that. There is a different code for this. Now, this is the lesser than sign and this is the greater than sign. Now, for the lesser than sign, the code is and symbol and LT semicolon. This is used for writing this and LT for lesser than and GT semicolon greater than. Save it. LT for lesser than, GT for greater than. Now we have successfully printed the tags as text. So you cannot print the tags as text simply by putting the tag. The computer will read them as tags. You'll have to use these two. Let's see if we can add text in between the tags. For example, you want to write this, you want to display the heading tag here as print, a text that has been printed. Now, these are the two tags and anything as these are between the paragraph tags. So technically anything you write here is a paragraph. So you have printed the lesser than tag here. Now, if you write H here, this will appear in between the two tags. Let's see if we can print the heading tag. This is the opening tag of heading. Let's write H1. Save, reload, H1. Now, this is how you print the tags in HTML. Now, what if you want to print a list like this? Like when your mom asks you to go buy something and you ask her for a shopping list, she makes you a list. She writes for you a list. Now, what if you want to write the list online in HTML? Just as an example. Now, for that, you can use LI for list. Now, by default, the lists will be paragraph and they will be bulleted with this round circle. Now, LI, let's see, let's add tomatoes. LI / LI, turnip. Let's save this. Reload. As you can see, this has been bulleted and this is paragraph by default. So if you want to make a list or write a list, you can use the LI tags. You must know or have heard what bulleting is. So what I mean by bulleting is these two are bulleted. The two dots right here, two circles. Now, in HTML, there are many, there are a lot of bulleting types, but there are main 3 types of bulleting, which we'll be learning now. First, there is The first of them all is unordered bulleting. It's simply bulleting. It's not like by unordered, you write tomatoes here and turnip here, and it can happen that turnip comes above the tomato. It's not like that. I'll compare it with the ordered bulleting. In ordered bulleting, you can order it as 1, 2, 3. You can order it using numbers, but unordered bulleting is just with symbols, and you cannot know which is the first and which is the second. That is what is meant by unordered bulleting. I'll show you. And by default, the lists have unordered bulleting. Now the code for unordered bulleting is UL. You'll write UL here. Now in between this, you'll have to write the paragraph or the list or the headings you want to bullet. So for this, it is very much recommended that you write this code in a different line for convenience and for neatness. Now, if you want to bullet, usually we bullet list items. So we'll try with list in paragraph both. Now list tomatoes, turnip, radish. Now UL in unordered bulleting, this circle sign will appear. And you cannot just know by the circles which is first in the list, which is last in the list. You'll have to use 1 to 3 for that. That's why it's called unordered bulleting. It is without order. See, also they have a little space before them, indentation. Now UL is for unordered bulleting. Now, what about ordered bulleting? Now there are many ways to order something, to write something in order. You can use numbers like 1 to 3. You can use capital letters like capital A, capital B, capital C. You can use small letters like small a, small b, small c. And you can even use Roman numerals. Now, for all this, we use an attribute to just tell the computer which bulletin we'll be using. Well, first of all, for ordered lists, it's OL. For unordered or unordered U and list L, UL for unordered list and OL for ordered list. OL. Now, in between that, you write LI. Let's just write this all, what we have written above. LI. Please do not copy your codes. Let these codes get set in your muscle memory. Turnip. Sorry. Now LI. Turnip. Yes. Now LI as the list item, radish. Let's save this file. Now, as we have not mentioned which type of ordered bulletin we need, by default, it is 1, 2, 3. By default, the computer regards them as 1 to 3. So the bulletins will not come in text. As we are selecting the text here, it's not getting selected. It does not come in text. Now, this is by default the normal or the 1 to 3 normal bulletin. Now, for type A bulletin. Now, if you want to bullet using capital letters, we can use type A. For this, go to the opening tag of OL and use the type attribute. Again, the values of attributes should come in double quotes. Now, type A. If it's in type A, it will go with capital A. It will go with capital A, tomatoes, capital B, turnip, capital C, radish. Please do this alongside me and don't get confused. I'll be sending the notes for this later so that you can practice. As you can see, now the ordered bulletin is done with capital A, B, and C. What if you want it to be small a? You'll have to write small a for that. Type small a. I'll be writing the code again so that you can differentiate between everything. OL. Now, LI, tomatoes, li turnip. Try this alongside me. Get on hands on learning. Radish. Now, here, type equals to small a in double quotes. Save this. Now, reload this. And see, it's coming. And the bulletin is small a. The bulletin is small a, b, and c. Small letters. Now, you must know Roman numerals. For 1, there's I. For 2, there's II. For 3, there's I. And for 4, there is IV. So for that, you'll have to write capital I in the old type. Now, actually, in Roman numerals as well, there's capital Roman numerals and small Roman numerals. I'll show you how both of those look. We'll be writing 4 for these so that you can see the difference between 3 and 4. Li, turnip, Li, radish, and Li, potatoes. Save this file, save. You can also use the shortcut Control S. Now, reload. I'm so sorry, I did not mention the type. As I said, by default, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, type equals to, in double quotes, right? Capital I for Roman numerals. Save. Reload. So as you can see, these are capital Roman numerals. Now, you may think these are just, like regular Roman numerals. These are what you write usually as Roman numerals. I'll show you what small Roman numerals are. And actually, I've used one of these bulletins in my website. I'll show you which one. Samyak, I'll be showing you how. After this, I'll be clearing your query. After showing the Roman numerals, yes. Type equals to small I. Now, Li, tomatoes, Li, turnip, Li, radish, and Li, potatoes. Save this. Let's reload. Now, these are the small Roman numerals, and these are the capital Roman numerals. Now, I'll be continuing with the start after clearing the doubt. Now, I'll first complete the ordered bulletin if I may, and then before starting the descriptive one, I'll just show, I'll try it myself. Now, as the default, by default, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in ordered bulletin. But what if you want to start from a particular number? What if you want to, the bulletin to start from 21 or 36 or 45 or any number? You can use start. Now, OL, let's write this again, Li, let's use only 3 for this. I think that is enough. Li, turnip, and Li, radish. Now, save this. No. First, let me show you. Now, like the type attribute is used for all of these. For this, we'll use the start attribute, start. Now, the value should be in double quotes. Let's start with 1000, 1000. Save. Let's see. Now the bulletin has started from 1000, 1000, 1001, 1002. Now, before getting on with the next step, I hope you have understood everything till now. It's just logical. Now, before getting started with the descriptive, I'll try with all 26 letters. Type, I'll be using capital A, and I'll be writing small text as I have to write 26 list items. Let's just write AA, so as to not get confused between the bulletings. It will take a little time, but you can also try this alongside on your side, because this is quite confusing and nice. F F E E F F G G H H I I J J. For numbers, so as numbers are infinite, it won't be much of a problem, but in alphabets, it'll probably be like after completing till Z, it'll be A, B, B, like that. Let's see what happens till here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I've repeated O, but there's no such problem with that. WW. As I've repeated O, there are 27 elements right here, list elements. So let's see what's going to happen. As I said, it will be AA. The letters will be repeated, and till I think when we have reached ZZ, it will be AAA, or it will be AB, AC, AD, like that. Just see what happens. AA again. Let's see this. I've reloaded. Now it will be AB till AZ. Now I hope I've cleared your doubt. I hope you were doing it alongside me so that you understood. Now let's get on with descriptive bulleting. You must have gone to many different restaurants and seen that there are different sections. There are different sections for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and beverages. Now for that, let me show you something. Now for that, this is descriptive bulleting. In this, there are 3 tags. There is one for descriptive list, DL, and inside it, there's one for the title of the category or the section, and there are different descriptions. I'll show you how it looks actually. Now, DL, DT for the title, T for the title, and DD for the description. D for the description. Now, DT, let's go with beverages. Let's now DT for the title of the section and DD. T, DD for another description, coffee. Save this. As you can see, the beverages is the title, and below it, tea and coffee are indented. inside it. Let's try with another section. DT, breakfast. Now, in it, first description, let's go with bread. And we'll write 2, just in case. DT. Let's go with poha. Save this. Reload. Now, as you can see, breakfast again is a title. So it's coming with beverages, and inside it is coming bread and poha. This is called descriptive list, and this is used to describe, or it is used for descriptions. You'll usually see this in menus of restaurants, especially if you're ordering online. I've also used this in my website, so I'll be showing it to you in my website. As you can see, this is my website. In this is the DT, or the title, and these are the descriptions. As you can see, let me compare with that website we were using in class. Now, here, this is the title, and these 2 are coming under it. Just like that, this is the title, Introduction to HTML, and these 3 are coming under it. What is HTML? Why HTML? These are the descriptions of the title, Introduction to HTML. We have pretty much completed what we must have learned, what we must learn in this class. Now, if there are any doubts, please mention in the chat. I'll be clearing doubts now, as I mentioned before in the class. We'll take clear
Thank you. I would also like the people, you have the option to unmute yourself and ask your doubt. So you can unmute yourself and ask the questions. Feel free to ask now.
I've given the permission for unmuting to the participants. Does anybody have any doubt?
Hello, ma'am. This is Siddharth. I had a doubt if in the heading, is it necessary to use H1 in the closing tag? Because I tried using it. I inserted the H1 in the opening tag, but when I tried, didn't insert it in the closing tag, it still worked.
I think it has some defaults. Like it is bold by default, so it may have some defaults. Let's try. But it is more convenient to just write 1, 2, 3, 4. Just denote the size so that the computer does not get confused. Save this and let's see without. I've just written H here. But also, if you're writing H1 in the opening tag, please do write H1 in the closing tag, because that will be very confusing for the computer. Save. See if it is working. Now, if you're writing just H, I think it is by default not a heading. It is just a paragraph. So you will have to mention the size. At least on my side, it's a paragraph. If I write just H. We try writing H1 as he said in the opening tag. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So as you can see, it's working, but I recommend that you should write H1, as the computer might get confused in very long codes. If you write, if you're making websites which are very long, then I just recommend it that you should denote H1 in the closing tag, because the computer will get confused in long codes. Otherwise, it's fine. It works.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other doubts? If there are not, yes. Go on.
If there are any feedbacks also, feel free to share. By feedbacks, I simply mean whether you like the class, did not like it. If you like something which you want to emphasize more, or something which you didn't like, then what you want to be corrected, that would help us.
If there are no feedbacks or doubts left, we'll be ending this class and I'll be sending the notes, recording and assignment in the group soon. Any more doubts or feedback? If not, then let's end this class. Thank you for attending. Please do attend the next class. And also we'll start with CSS from the next class.
So ma'am, before we end this class, can you just show us what the effect of CSS would be on the websites we are trying to make?
Thank you, Tenko. Let's get started. Let me show you now. Now, this is my website. This is the website we'll be making in this course. We'll start making this website from class 4. Now, without CSS, the color of this will not be blue. We cannot change. I've changed the color of all this using CSS because it is more convenient and neat to place all your codes in one place. It will be very hard to know what your code is if you have changed the color of the text using HTML and changed the color of something else using CSS. Now, so I have changed every color using CSS, and also I have created this button using CSS. I have changed the shape and size of these images using CSS well. So in CSS, you can change the shapes, the size and the shape of different objects. You can color them and you can position them most of all. In HTML, it is very hard to position the images. In CSS, it is very easy to position the images. And you can also create the buttons using CSS.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. Also, I'll be showing one more thing. In CSS, you can also change the size when you hover over it, or change the color when you hover over it. That is very eye-catching and very beautiful. Yes. So that is mainly the primary effects of CSS on your HTML code. And the websites will not look as beautiful without CSS.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this wonderful session. Particularly, I would like to appreciate the effort you have taken, and also the way you have, the things which you taught us and told us that we should write each and every code by ourselves, and you also showcase that by doing during the class. Thank you. I hope all the students would have benefited through that, and we are looking forward to the next class. Thank you so much.
Yes. Also, the notes contain the notes of the previous class as well. So practice throughout the week. And in the next class, if you have any doubts along the way while practicing through this week, I'll be clearing them in the next class. Now, let's end this session. Thank you. Please attend the next class. Thank you everyone for joining. Please join the next session. We'll be starting with CSS from the next session, and we'll be starting with making that website that I just showed from the 4th class after learning the basics of CSS. Thank you.